Okay, we are here for the Google Hangout for our Environmental Safety and Occupational Health Management program. Welcome. Here with us today we have the chair of the program, Dr. Tim Murphy, and we have three wonderful students, current students with us here tonight as well. We did plan on having a graduate of the program. Unfortunately, they could not make it, but these students are going to tell you all about how they love the program here and the things that they're involved in. Please feel free to type in your questions on Google Plus or tweet us at Ask Findlay, or I'm sorry, Ask UF. Again, that's at Ask UF on Twitter. And also here tonight we have the Director of Admissions, Chris Harris, off camera. So he is going to answer any questions we might have regarding the application process. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Dr. Murphy, would you like to start? Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Tim Murphy. As was mentioned, I am the department chair for the program. My background is 18 years of public health work and emergency response work before coming here to the University of Findlay back in 1998.
I'm Katie. I'm a junior in the program. I play rugby for the university. I'm also a president of the rugby club, and I'm also a resident assistant on campus.
Hi guys, my name is Evan. I'm a student athlete here as well. I'm on the football team. I'm a junior in the program, and I switched over previously from the therapy program.
Hi everybody, my name is Jayson Clinger. I'm a junior in the program. I've had 3 internships working with Fortune 500 companies, and I'm also the president of the American Society of Safety Engineers, and I guess that's it for now.
Okay, and Chris, would you like to tell us a little bit about the admission process and how students might get started if they haven't already applied?
If you haven't already applied, I think the best thing to do right now is to go online, visit us at the website, www.findlay.edu, and click on future students, and in that section there's a place where you can apply online. When you're done with that, then you need to get us your transcripts, and we need your high school transcripts, or if you're a transfer student, we need your transcripts from a college or university that you're currently attending right now. And we also need a copy of your ACT or SAT scores if you're an incoming freshman as well. The process is very easy, very quickly done anyway. We also need letters of recommendation, and there's an essay component as well. So the sooner that you get that done, the sooner we can get you started on the financial aid process, which will start very, very soon, actually in the next 15 days.
Okay, so again, if you have questions, feel free to type them in on Google Plus here. Also on Twitter, at UFindlay, #AskUF. Again, that's at UFindlay, #AskUF. We will be monitoring that for questions. We will answer those live. So Tim, Dr. Murphy, can you go ahead and give us an overview of the program and tell students more about the Environmental Safety and Occupational Health program, things they may not know about the program?
Oh, sure. Couple of things. First off, we have 100% job placement. And the reason we have such tremendous job placement with the students is the curriculum combined with the internships. As Jay had mentioned, he's been on 3 internships so far. An internship is where you get real-world experience working for a corporation or for an agency, and you're learning. And that's the big key, is that you're learning by doing while you're at those corporations or agencies. These guys have a major bonus in that they get paid quite well at the same time that they're learning. And because of those internships and that experience tied with the curriculum that we've developed, we're accredited by 2 different accreditation agencies. That means that hiring managers know what they're getting when they hire one of our students. That all combined together gives us that 100% job placement. You know, college is expensive no matter where you go. Having 100% job placement is good. It means you can go directly into your career field, and that's why you go to college, is to get the career that you want. The program itself is a combination of environmental area, safety area, industrial hygiene, emergency management, and some sustainability courses. So it's a very broad-based curriculum that's also quite deep. It's an applied science program that is a good, solid applied science. So math, chemistry, biology, plus the environmental courses, all those together make an employee which is what hiring managers want, an employee that can use science to solve problems.
And what made each one of you choose the environmental program?
I'm really interested in the environment and working outside, and I'm also minoring in biology. So just working outside, researching on land, water is pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, like I said, I switched over from the therapy side of things, and I was kind of at a crossroads in my college experience, and I sat down with, I believe her name's Jan Taylor, over at the Career Center, and I had probably hour conversation with her, and she recommended that I come sit down and schedule a meeting with Dr. Murphy to talk about the program. And I had a little bit of a familiarity with the program. My uncle is a safety manager up at a chemical company up in Michigan, so I kind of know what that's all about, and sat down with Dr. Murphy, and it was, you know, he talked me into it. So I'm here now, and I couldn't be happier about it.
For me, it all came down to pretty much the people. I really wanted to kind of make a difference and make them be safe in the workplace. And I saw that with this major, I'd really have that opportunity. And as Evan mentioned, you know, Dr. Murphy talked me into it once I talked to him. So it was hard to say no after that. And it's a really good job to have. You don't want to sit at a desk all the time. There's a lot of opportunity for you know, field work and you know, just hands-on type of work, and I really like that aspect as well.
Dr. Murphy, why don't you talk a little more about exactly what the Environmental Safety and Occupational Health Management program is? So what type of jobs can the students expect to get with this degree?
Well, as far as career paths, you can either go to work for agencies, as I said, or for companies. So for agencies, we're talking city and county health departments, engineers' offices, that type of thing. State agencies would be EPA, OSHA, and then of course federal, you have CDC, EPA, Department of Homeland Security, Health and Human Services, all those types of things. And for companies, you have the small ones all the way up to the Fortune 100 companies that are hiring our students. But no matter which way you go, private or public, you've got the environmental side. Do you want to protect the environment? Some of my students like to go to work for the agencies because they get to develop the rules and regulations that companies have to abide by. Some of my alumni want to go to work for the company because they believe that they can protect the environment better by going to work for the company that's doing the pollution, because they can enact that change from within versus outside pressure. So that's the environmental side. We've got them working for consulting firms. We've got them working for cleanup contractors. We've got them working for probably half, if not more, of the Fortune 100 companies that are out there. From the safety side, it's all about protecting the worker, whether it's, again, working for the agency doing enforcement, or if it's working for a company, as Jay has done for his internships, and making sure that the individual workers are safe on a daily basis. So that involves safety audits, and that involves looking at the risk of the different jobs that the individuals are performing and how to mitigate or minimize those risks in order to try and make those risks go away. The new thing in safety is what's called prevention through design. You design out all the safety hazards to begin with, kind of like we're trying to work ourselves out of a job. We never will. It'll always be there, but the idea is to remove those hazards. It's the same practice that we've done for years in environmental cleanup, is to design the cleanup so that the hazards and the environmental impact is no longer there. So either way, it's risk-based, it's protect the environment, protect the people, and then of course, combine those two is where the public health aspect comes in. Environmental public health, where you're looking at the interface of the human and the environment and making sure that that is a safe juncture there. So food, water, air, solid waste, sanitary waste, those types of things.
Which is kind of becoming a big thing nowadays, I mean, in our society, so.
We've got friends of mine that are in public health that work for Centers for Disease Prevention, CDC. that are actually doing the Ebola work right now in Africa. They're gentlemen and women that I've worked with over the years, have known for years. We've got alumni that are working with CDC, have not been dispatched yet over there, but they're also on the list. So yes, it's definitely in the news.
Jay, Dr. Murphy talked about your internships a little bit, so why don't you tell them a little more about your experiences in your internships and where you've had those?
Okay, so as I said, I had 3 internships. My first one was with Honda Manufacturing down in Marysville, Ohio. So I got to see a little bit how automotive manufacturing works. And then my last 2 internships were with the BP refinery in Oregon, Ohio, which is a completely different industry. And there's crazy hazards associated with refining compared to automotive. So basically on the internship, you get to, work on projects throughout the summer or the semester term. Typically it's around 12 weeks long, and you get to, really develop your skills in the workplace that your employer would want you to have and expect you to know how to do once you graduate. And, that can range from personal exposure monitoring, where you sample for different airborne contaminants. You can do more of the safety stuff where you're working with the employees with training and gas testing, different stuff like that. And it gives you the tools that you need to graduate for.
And then if you guys want to maybe talk about any experiences you've had, whether it be off campus in an internship or maybe having that hands-on experience at one of our facilities, our really nice facilities we have here at the University of Findlay.
We have a training center off campus. It's only like 10 minutes away. You can take weekend courses that can help emphasize certain aspects you might be interested in, like confined space. That's actually on campus, but that's one course you can take. Emergency level response training, I actually took that recently, and that was a good course to take. Learning how to plug drums, take emergency response measures to handle incidents.
Yeah, like she said, our facilities are really cool. I haven't had much opportunity. In the spring, I will be taking a lot of training courses. So I'm really excited for that. But we did do a Fear Factor event for one of our clubs that I think we're all in. OESOH, it's the Oiler Environmental Safety and Health Organization. I always mess it up. But yeah, so that was really cool to, put all of the students that showed up into Tyvek suits and kind of give them a little bit of a taste of what we do. And I think it kind of opened up some people's eyes to see, because they don't really know what it is that we do. So it was really cool to see that.
Dr. Murphy, what kind of academic strengths should a student have to be successful in the environmental program?
Math and chemistry. One of the things that the University instituted a number of years ago was a math and chemistry placement exam. And what we found was that the students had taken the courses in high school, but so many of them took them when they were a sophomore in high school and then didn't use that algebra, pre-calc, chemistry tools again until they got to us. Well, if you don't use it for a couple of years, you may not remember it. And so having those upper level chemistries or math tools before they get to us really makes it so much easier for the student when they get here.
And then looking a little further down the line, I guess, can you talk about how easy it is for a student to transition from our bachelor's degree to our master's degree?
Oh, sure. We recently did a poll of our alumni, and 50% of those alumni had already obtained a master's degree or were working on their master's degree at that time. 100% of those people had their master's degree paid for by the companies that they were working for. But it's quite easy. The goal of our undergraduate program is not only get you in your career, but also prepare you for a master's program, either science or business-based masters. And so the students are successful in both of those. Most of the students wait. Our undergraduate degree is enough to get the career that you want, so they wait and they do the master's degree once they get into their career, because in that way they can focus their master's degree on industrial hygiene, on environmental, on toxicology, epidemiology, management, any of those other fields that they want. And if they work with their company or their agency, they're going to probably get it paid for.
And our master's is nice because it's all online, right?
Yes, it is. It's available 100% online. So right now, the vast majority of students in our master's degree program are from a long ways away. We have people stationed on military Navy ships out in the Gulf that are online taking classes. So anytime, anywhere, they can take the class.
Okay, what do you guys talk a little more about the type of activities you're involved in on campus outside of the environmental program? So what type of things do you enjoy doing on campus?
Hitting people when you run past them.
Yeah. The rugby club is pretty fun. We get new people every semester, actually, because we have 2 seasons, spring and fall. Mainly the people that come to play have never played rugby ever, and they do great. So if you're interested in coming to the University of Findlay, which you should be, look into the women's rugby club. It's great.
Yep, and like she said, I would not have changed my experience at all as far as coming here to play sports. I'm from up in Michigan, and I was looking at a lot of different places to go and play football. I settled to Findlay after, talking with the coaches and seeing the facilities down here, which are remarkable. The student rec center, and we have a full indoor track, which I believe is the only indoor track in the GLIAC. All the GLIAC meets are here, as well as the cardio center for students is awesome. But as far as that goes, I'm also a junior representative on the student athlete advisory committee, and that's just another club that we go over, fundraising and stuff like that for student to support the athletic department. We actually did, it was really fun. We did a kids night in, parents night out event where we had about 150 kids come, and all the athletes here kind of did the babysitting, and the parents had 5 hours, and they only had to pay $20. So that's some pretty cheap babysitting, and we got to run around with the little kids, and they love seeing. One of my roommates is 6'7", 300-pound lineman, so they loved jumping on him. So it's a good time. There's a lot to do other than school here, obviously.
So the last 2 years I was on the swim team, and that was a really good experience. I got to go on training trips to Florida and Hawaii. So that was really good opportunity. I got to meet a lot of people, and met some people that I'll probably be friends with for the rest of my life. But this year I decided to focus a little bit more on my career and the stuff that's important for the future. I'm not going to be a professional swimmer, so I decided to change things up a little bit, and I joined a service group, and I'm going to the Dominican Republic in December, in a couple weeks actually, to build a church and to hang out with a bunch of orphan children down there. So that'll be a really good experience. I'm also, like I said, the president of the American Society of Safety Engineers, which is another organization that we have for our profession, I guess, for our major. And it's really dedicated to professional development and networking so that students are able to make connections with professionals out in the workforce. It increases your chances of getting the job that you want to get when you get out of here. So I've been really busy with those different organizations, and I've been really enjoying it this year.
In fact, Jay was one of the founding members of that student section, the University of Findlay student section of the ASSE. And as he said, professional development's a big component of that. In fact, tomorrow evening, there's a group of us that are going up to Toledo for the regional meeting. And 3 weeks ago, was it? We were in Schaumburg, Illinois for a big professional development. It was the Future Leaders Conference where I took 4 students with me to that conference. And it was a great opportunity for the students to network. There were supposedly mock interviews, but I'm pretty sure the companies there, though, they were real interviews and they were offering jobs to students. based on those mock interviews. So it was a great experience for them.
And we also have tour opportunities with that organization so that students can actually see what a facility looks like, where they could work in the future. So that's another good opportunity that they have through that organization.
So what are your career goals? What is it that you, all three of you, would like to do with your degree once you graduate?
I guess I'll
Okay.
wanna start? I'm really interested in environmental research. Hopefully working towards EPA, maybe that would be, it's like a way up top there, but that would be a great goal to work towards, so.
And how do you think your degree is going to help you get to that level? Do you think the connections you've made here and your academic work is going to help you get there?
Definitely connections through people you meet, just through the courses, professors, advisors, as well as internships are great experiences, and you can network through those and meet people that way.
Like I said, I'm new to the program. I'm not exactly sure. That's why I'm so excited to have an opportunity this summer to be in an internship and see what I want to do. As of now, I'm leaning more towards the safety side of things in the construction industry. I love being outside. I love working on projects. So that's where I'm leaning towards, but I could, get out in the internship and decide that, the environmental pathway is where I want to go. And that's what's so great about this degree is it's so broad. And if you don't like one aspect of it, you might love another. So that's a really cool thing to have options.
After I graduate, I would really like to become an industrial hygienist, preferably in the oil and gas industry. As I said before, it's just, a really exciting atmosphere. And you get to go outside, and depending on what industry you choose, sometimes you're stuck inside like automotive, and I really like being able to go outside and get my hands dirty on different projects. And so like I said, industrial hygiene, which focuses a lot more on like exposures to different chemicals and controlling those exposures, sampling for the exposures, as well as on one of my internships, we did a nuke source audit where we went around and tested our nuclear radiation meters to determine if it was leaking any radioactive particles. So that's just the kind of work that industrial hygienists do, and I really find that kind of science interesting. And I have been taking classes to kind of focus on that kind of career path, so that's where I would like to end up.
I guess all of you might be able to speak to this, especially if you guys are already double majoring. But can we talk a little bit more about the possibility of a double major or a good minor for this program?
Sure. When I'm advising students about double majors, my first question is, what do they want out of it? Are they trying to enhance their education, and then what do they want for their career? Because in some instances, a double major or at least a major and a minor make a real good combination. With the minor in biology or an associate's in biology and what she wants to do, it's a perfect fit because she gets more biology that way. And of course, the environment is really biology based. And so it will really help Katie with her long-term career goals. For other students, it may not be a minor, it may be the right selection of general education courses. They, as an example, they want to get into the field that I used to be in, environmental cleanup work. Well, then we're going to talk about some accounting, so you know whether or not you're making money or losing money, which is also important. We're going to talk a little bit more about some additional writing classes so that you can write reports, you can write grants, you can write proposals, so something above and beyond what the requirements are. So it's all about what they want to do with their long-term career goals.
And Katie, you found the biology minor to be, are you double majoring or mining?
Minor. Actually, I probably would have double majored, but I didn't actually join the program until last spring. So I went a year and a half kind of working towards a different major, kind of like stuck in between. And then I decided to go this route. And if I would have started off freshman year in the ESOH program, probably would have ended up double majoring in biology.
Yeah, and that's one cool thing. I know for me, I'm very close with the law professor here, Dr. Wilkinson, and I sat down in his office and talked to him for a while because of how my schedule fit. I had to drop out of one of his courses, and he's been talking about, they're always searching for, new minors, new stuff like that, and he's been talking about how they're thinking about trying to start an environmental pre-law minor, which is something that I would definitely pick up if it was available. My parents have always joked with me, telling me I should be a lawyer. So it's something that I have always been interested in. And if there is, something that can help me towards that and keep that door open, or even, more open than it is right now, then that's something that, they're always striving to help the students out. And that's cool to have the advisors on your side.
So I currently don't have any plans to double major or have a minor. As it turned out, I was on track to graduate early, so I just wanted to focus on, being able to do that so I could get out of here with an extra semester, just to save some extra money. But if I could do it all over again and I had the time, I would probably want to minor in chemistry, because chemistry is a big aspect of, especially industrial hygiene, and like a refinery, everything is chemistry based. So just to be able to know the process, to know how things work better, chemistry would always come in handy. And it also helps set you up for a master's degree in industrial hygiene. So if I could do it all over again, I'd pick a chemistry minor.
And you mentioned that you're on course to graduate early. You took some post-secondary courses and did some dual enrollment in high school. Can you talk a little more about how that kind of helped you and how those credits helped you once you got here?
Yep. So my junior year of high school, I started taking college classes, and I was pretty much taking all college classes my second semester of junior year, and then all of senior year. So by the time I got to Findlay, I had like 34 credits, and so that put me like really far ahead of the rest of my class. I got to skip out on a lot of the basic science courses that we're required to take, a lot of the general electives, and I even took an internship during the school year. So if I wouldn't have done that, I could have graduated a whole year early. But it was definitely worth it to take the internship and get in with a really good company. So just taking those college classes in high school really gives you an edge. It really kind of frees up your schedule and lets you take more classes. If you wanted to minor, you'd have a lot more room for that. And if you want to graduate early, it's really really beneficial. It really lets you skip a lot of the little stepping stones, I guess, along the way.
So Dr. Murphy, speaking about credits,
Yes.
if a student is interested in transferring from another school, whether it be a 2-year or 4-year school, especially a 2-year school, what might be a good associate's degree program for them to enroll in if they're interested in transferring into this environmental program here at the University of Findlay?
In the state of Ohio, any of the associate degrees in a science, whether it be biology or chemistry, as Jay just pointed out, chemistry probably fits even better for the industrial hygiene side, but biology fits better if you're looking at the environmental side of our program. So either of those two work out well. With the associate's degree, we recently passed a proposal through the faculty governance body here on the campus that allows students with those degrees to actually not have to take a couple of the general education courses. So having that degree not only saves them credits, but saves them dollars. But no matter what, make sure that you're picking up pre-calculus, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, biology, human anatomy and physiology. Did I say pre-calc already? Those courses, and of course, the general education courses, philosophy, religion, fine arts, those types of things. Some students, I'll take a second to talk about general education. Some students always say, oh, why do I need all this general education? I want to do science. I came from a program a long time ago that didn't have much in the way of the general education. And I realized over the years that that was lacking in my background and my capabilities, so I had to work on that myself. With our program here, it does include the general education that allows you to communicate with all types of people and have good, solid conversations with a variety of different backgrounds and thoughts, so that you can have a good conversation and protect the environment and protect the worker, and have fun doing it.
And let's talk for a couple of minutes about the great networking that we have here in this program, and how not only the students are able to network through great advisors like you, Dr. Murphy, but also through our Career Services Center, and how they assist in that process. Because I think, like you said, this has 100% job placement, this program does. So, you know, when students are looking at programs, one of the things they're thinking is, you know, am I going to land a job? Am I going to get a job after graduation?
Sure.
So can you talk a little more about that?
Sure. We work very closely with Career Services, and I've been here since '98, and we were doing it even then. And the Career Services group has grown quite a bit since then. It's a great group of men and women over there. They do both job placement and internship placements. They work with the students on resume building, dress for success, mock interviews. All my students have mock interviews with professionals before they ever do a real interview, because that really helps them out. Career Services tracks jobs for us. Every January, I have a report run by Career Services, so I'm looking forward to this January's report. For the last 3 years, we've averaged 100 new jobs per year that companies send to us, send to the University of Findlay, looking for these students. I graduate 15 to 20 a year, so I've got a bit of a problem. I need more students. They also work with the internships. We average at any given time some 30 to 35 internships that are posted on the website that are for these students. Fall job fair, we had 15 companies on campus that were recruiting these students for for summer and fall internships, because they're always trying to recruit, what, about 6 months in advance, probably, I guess it is. So it's a good marriage. Career Services works very well with us. The students work well with them. We have a course every fall that's a seminar course in environmental safety and occupational health careers, where we have guest speakers come in and talk about their career. And that's 15, 16 weeks. Our last one will be this Wednesday night. And so we've had, I guess, about 18 different people come in and talk about their careers and about what they can do with degrees, their degree, because most of them are alumni out of the program, or degrees that are very similar in nature.
So Katie, we'll start with you. Can you talk about any kind of personal experience you've had with networking, or maybe an advisor who's been particularly helpful with you, and how you think that's going to help you?
Actually, I had 2 advisors, since I also worked with Jane Taylor. She was really great. She networked me to Dr. Murphy, and he'll network me to other people to work with in the future. And Career Services, since I'm an RA, resident assistant on campus, I actually hold programs for residents to do resume building, and then we bring people in from that office to either help you start your resume or just kind of look at it with you and sit down with you, and they'll tell you what you need to work on and if it's great, or tweak it a little bit so it can be just right for whoever you want it to look at it.
Yeah, to add to that, the 499 course is absolutely awesome, especially someone coming into the major, just to hear about everything that you can do. And being someone who has worked with the internship office a lot with resume building, as well as if students are FAFSA eligible or work study eligible, the internship office got a huge grant this year, which I'm going to be able to take advantage of. And I've been trying to spread the word to as many people as I can, because 2 of my roommates have been able to use it, or going to be able to use it for their internships this summer in different professions or different majors. But basically I think it's your Great Lakes Internships is the company, and it bumps your salary $10 an hour, or your hourly, and they reimburse the company. So I got informed about that and worked with the internship office to find out that I'm eligible for that, and can make that happen. And as far as the connections here, they're unbelievable. my girlfriend's mom actually graduated here with the same degree. And we had one of our guest speakers come who works at the same company as she does, actually ended up going to school with her, knew him, and they both said that anywhere you go in this field, you're going to find somebody who graduated from Findlay. And it's true. And like, I'm going to keep going here because I have another great story. We were sitting in our environmental laws and regulations course, and our professor, Wilkinson, came up to me and he said, I had an internship opportunity come across my desk today, and I went ahead and recommended you for it. And I was like, all right, thank you, I appreciate it. I was like, where, what can I get some details on this? And he said, you're from Michigan, right? And I said, yep. And he said, what part of Michigan? I said, southeastern Michigan, Ann Arbor, Detroit area. And he goes, oh, even better. And he goes, have you ever heard of BASF? And I was like, yeah, my uncle is the head safety guy at BASF. And he goes, oh, even better. So my uncle gave me a call and was like, what's this? You're sending applications my way, So the internships and the networking it's unbelievable. It blows my mind every day. And to have advisors, Professor Wilkinson isn't even my advisor, and he, recommends internships. So it's really close-knit group, and it's awesome to be a part of it.
So in addition to like the Wednesday night seminar classes that they kind of touched on, Dr. Murphy also sends out a lot of emails, and he does a really good job just passing along information to students.
Sorry, I know it's a lot of emails. There's a lot of companies, there's a lot of scholarships and grants for you guys. So.
But that gives the students opportunities to kind of pick and choose who they want to start communicating with, and if they want to send in resumes anywhere. And then also with the ASSE organization, we talked about that conference in Chicago, and we met so many people there. My LinkedIn account was blowing up for like probably a week and a half with new connections, people commenting, liking, posts and stuff like that. So, just the tools and the professors that we have in this major just really help students meet professionals out in the real world.
Good. Do you have something else you want to add?
Part of what we're trying to do is not just in the classroom. Mm-hmm. Part of it is to help the students decide what they want to do for their career, and then help them connect with those individuals that can make it happen. So between the different faculty that we have and the different backgrounds that we have and the different experiences that we have, we know a lot of people from coast to coast. And Professor Gillespie, he knows an awful lot of people worldwide because of his 20 years in the military, being overseas doing environmental public health work in all sorts of different locations. We've got a lot of connections. And so what we're trying to do is use those connections to help the students get a foot in. And because they do a good job when they go out there, those connections of ours are willing to go, yeah, send us another one. The first one did a really good job, send us another one. And so we're helping each other. By them doing good out when they get their career, they're helping the program and the students that are in it now. Everyone's paying it forward. We just keep on paying it forward, and it's really working out well.
I think one of the other nice things about our program, and something that makes us nationally recognized, is our All Hazards Training Center. If you all want to maybe talk a little about that, your experiences that you've had out there, Tim, if you want to talk about the national recognition that has and what kind of organizations do their training out there. And the students all get the same type of training. I understand that these organizations do as well. So.
The All Hazards Training Center has been around now for 26 years. 2 locations. One's on campus, it's the old gymnasium, and another one's off campus, it's a 5-acre facility. It is nationally recognized. It holds designation by Department of Health and Human Services as a rural preparedness group. We've always done a lot of emergency response training to chemicals because we came about during the time of the environmental impact from train derailments and drum jobs. Think Love Canal, think Chemdyne, Valley of the Drums, those types of things. And that center was built as a response to that. Fast forward, it's now doing all hazards. So it's doing anything that to do with risk in the workplace. So they have training classes on transfer of chemicals out of rail cars. We have our own railroad. We've flipped over rail cars, a train derailment, that type of thing. But they're also doing maritime safety. They're doing active shooter training in school systems, which I hate to say we have to do that nowadays, but it is a skill set that people need. These students have access to at least half of those different training courses, and they receive the exact same training that people from industry get. So whether, in fact, they can be in a training class and sitting next to them can be professionals from BASF or from Marathon Petroleum or from General Electric or from cleanup companies or from pipeline installation companies or any of these other firms are all in there. Nationally recognized, they do, well, last year they trained 11,000 people across the United States. At any given time, they've got probably 15 trainers out somewhere in the United States training every day. Major corporate contracts with, well, Pepsi Corporation, Nestle, BASF, a variety of companies. And those companies come to us or the training group goes to them.
And have you all had experiences out there since you've been students here to the chance?
Evan hasn't yet. He's got a lot of them for
Spring
spring.
too, right,
Yeah, I'm loaded up for the spring.
But Jay, you've had 3 or 4 different training classes?
I've had more than that. I've taken a lot, probably 7 or 8 maybe. So you get a lot of certificates, and you know, employers really like to see a lot of that stuff. My favorite training course was probably our confined space training course, where we actually got to crawl around in tunnels and put on like fall arrest systems and get lowered into tanks. And you know, it's a really good opportunity to get hands-on training with stuff that you would need in industry, and it really kind of links the classroom to the actual application of what you're learning. So it's a really good opportunity.
We've been lucky in that many of the instructors for these training classes are professionals that are doing what they're training day in and day out. The class that Jay was just referring to is taught by a gentleman who just recently retired from the fire department, but has gotten all sorts of his own training and accreditations to teach confined space, to teach rescue, to teach high angle rescue, rope rescue off of water towers, helicopter rescue, those types of things. And so he's the individual that we bring in to teach that training class.
Can you talk a little more about the average starting salary for students out of this program?
Oh, money. Is money important? Stuff costs money. Right now, starting salaries are ranging anywhere from mid-40s to the upper 60s, $68,000, $69,000 a year. The lower end is at the agency. The upper end are the Fortune 100 corporations. Petrochemical are paying the most right now. They're starting at $69,000 or maybe even that $70,000 a year with a 4-year degree. Average is $52,000 to $55,000 as starting salary with the 4-year degree, which is a good starting salary. Internships are paying anywhere from $12 an hour to $33 an hour. Of course, not many students settle for the $12 an hour. They want the $30 or $33 an hour. That's the construction side, by the way. And so the money is good. It's not all about the money. And the students, they'll tell you that. I mean, it's nice to make good money, but they're following their heart, doing what they want to do, and that is make a difference in the environment, make a difference in the workplace. And oh, by the way, I can get paid well doing it, so I can raise a family and pay off my bills and buy the things that I want to buy.
So let's go through, and Katie, we'll start with you, and just talk a little about why you chose the University of Findlay. What drew you to the University of Findlay campus?
Well, I chose this campus last minute actually, because I was looking into pharmacy programs. So my mom was all about ONU, so I went there and I just looked at campus and I was like, no. I was like, it just doesn't feel right. And then I talked her into stopping here at Findlay before we went home, and we actually got lost, and
On campus?
no, we were
Okay.
actually off campus, and we stopped in this little house, like office house, and I was like, where do we go? And then people were so nice off campus, and then they directed us to campus, and we actually got here kind of late, and they're actually deans on campus that kind of gave us a mini tour. They had no idea who we were. They probably kept them here a little later than they wanted to, but they were just really nice and just so friendly and helpful, and just seemed like a really close place to be, kind of homey, and that's kind of what I was looking for. So just the people kind of brought me here.
Yeah, as I mentioned, with my football career, I visited a lot of schools. Coming here, I'm going to be honest, it was the best financial choice for me. I'm also pretty close to home here, but that's, like I said, it's not all about that. I absolutely love the campus, and it's more of a blessing than I even realized, because I found this, this program, and it's such a great opportunity here. As well with that comes the admissions office and how much they help you with the financial aid for just grades, as well as for me, athletics. So there's definitely some opportunities out there to get that scary number down a little bit.
So my story is similar to Katie's, actually. I was looking for pharmacy, and so, Findlay and Ohio Northern have one of the two best pharmacy programs. So I came here, and I realized that pharmacy was not the career for me. And I was doing the tour, and I was walking around, and I actually bumped into one of the students. He's still here, Edward Diedrich, and he started telling me a little bit about the program, and went and introduced me to Dr. Murphy, and Dr. Murphy sold me on the program. And that had to do a lot with it, just the program and the opportunity that could provide for me. But I also did like the campus. It's very small. The average class size is like 20, I think.
Maybe.
20 students.
Yeah.
So it really allows students to connect with their professors. I didn't want to go somewhere where I would just be a number to the professor. So I really enjoy that aspect of Findlay, and it is a beautiful campus. I think we've won awards for our campus. So
Yeah.
Evan had brought up scholarship packages. The university has great scholarship packages for students, in particular if you're a good student, and we happen to have 3 good students here. So not only is the financially better at that level, but we also have endowed scholarships for students that are declared in different majors. We happen to have some corporate partners that are partnering with the Environmental Safety and Occupational Health Program and are providing us with funding, so I can turn around and give more money in the way of scholarships to the good students to help defray some of their costs.
That's on top of all the fantastic paid internships.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So Tim, just to kind of sum things up for the program here, why should students watching choose the University of Findlay's environmental program over any other environmental program, mouthful, they might be looking at right now?
Well, to begin with, we are the only program in the nation that holds 2 accreditations, both from ABET. I won't tell you what the entire acronym means, but ABET, which accredits safety programs, and then also EHAC, which accredits the environmental public health programs. And we're the only undergraduate program in the nation that has managed to obtain both of those. So that really sets us apart. And if you want to make a difference in the world, if you want to make a difference in the environment, make a difference in the workplace for workers, have fun doing it, this is the place to come to.
So to kind of wrap things up here, I'm going to throw it over to our Director of Admissions, Chris Harris, off camera, so he can tell you a little bit more about how to visit campus, how to schedule that visit, and how to connect with us if you're interested in learning more about University of Findlay and about our environmental program.
Thanks, Amy. One of the things that we really feel that is important in the admissions process is a visit to campus. You get to meet with faculty and students like you see in front of you tonight. You get a one-on-one meeting with one of our admissions counselors, probably your admissions counselor assigned to your area of the neck of the woods, depending on where you are. But we can really tailor the day to whatever it is that you want to talk about. So as you go ahead and start thinking about making your campus visits, kind of think about the questions that you want to ask faculty, the questions that you want to have asked of students. You want to taste the food, you want to see the residence halls, but you also want to talk about money. And that's one thing that we really take very seriously here. And we will sit down with you and actually help you lay out your 4-year plan. We're the only institution in the United States right now that will actually sit down with you and have a very frank and open discussion about funding your education for 4 years. If you go out to our website, you can look under financial aid and you'll see our total degree cost calculator. Plug in some information, you'll find out how affordable and how reasonable a private college education can be, especially in a program as awesome as the one that you've heard about tonight. To schedule a visit, you can do it online by visiting us on the admissions office webpage at findlay.edu, or you can give us a call directly. The phone number, if you're local, it's 419-434-4723, or you can reach us on the 800 number, which is 800-472-9502. And we'll be able to set up your campus visit well ahead of time. If you give us more than 48 hours, we'd appreciate that. But if you just happen to be at ONU for the day and you want to come over and not get lost on your way here, then you're more than welcome to do that. We'll welcome you anytime. We do visits Monday through Saturday. We are open Saturday mornings as well. So give us a call, and we look forward to welcome you to campus very soon.
Okay, well, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. If you would like more information on the environmental program, you can also visit our website, findlay.edu, keyword ESOH. Again, that's keyword ESOH, or just keyword environmental. So if you have more questions, feel free to contact our admissions office. This Google Hangout is recorded, so we are going to email this out to everyone after we're done here tonight, so you can watch it over and over again if you would really like to. So again, thanks for joining us, and good night.